what you do offensively with the talent you have, instead of maybe running 90 or 100 plays and throwing it a lot. Just, it seems like he's done a good job with this offense, along with Coach Solomon and Coach Ray and that offensive unit.
Well, it's an offensive staff deal, and here's the bottom line is, you know, everybody almost to a point was going overkill on no huddle. We've been no huddle for 5 to 8 years, okay? And so the speed of that is gauged off getting first downs and moving the football. So I guess what I'd say to answer that question is for our offense to adapt to how you need to win at Northern Iowa. And it isn't this year or what personnel we have, it's how do you win at UNI. And I think that's the key. When you see all this stuff going around the country, everybody gets excited just because they see a new wave of offense or a new wave of defense. It's how are you going to win in Iowa at Northern Iowa. And you do that with the kind of players that we can recruit, which is those ones that'll get down in the trenches and play hard. It's the Tyvis Smith of the world that will drop a shoulder and get an extra yard. And it's the guys that will, when you do get behind an 8 ball, meaning when you get down by 3 games, you know, 2 and 4, whatever it was, that you know that if you do your time and do your work, that thing will turn in your direction. And that's why we recruit the players we do, and that's why you have to fit the system to the players and thus the players at Northern Iowa. So it's not so much about the run and gun and all that good stuff. If there's a time and place for that, there will be. But we can't get those players day in and day out, and we need to win the close games and we need to win the tough games. And right now we're winning those games, and I think that if you look around, we look like UNI football. And I think that's what we've been telling these guys all along is don't get hooked up in that other stuff. Just play the way we play at UNI. And if we continue to play our style, we'll have a greater chance of having success. So, yeah, he's had to adapt to that. Those, you know, you get the you know, J. Ray and you know, they've been accustomed to a little bit different style of football. You know, this is UNI football. This is the way I know it, and this is the way it'll be as long as I'm around. Okay, so it is what it is.
I know you're just really concerned about Eastern Illinois, but when you look at the overall bracket, 5 Valley teams in, they're all on the same side of the bracket. Just your thoughts on how it all laid out and the big picture of this 2014 playoff.
Big picture of the brackets. I was surprised probably by 2 things. I was surprised by, one, all of the Valley teams on one side. I mean, what's the chance of that happening when there's 5 of them? Okay, so that took a lot of thought by the committee to put them all on one side. And one of the committee guys is we know, so you can ask him. But no, in all seriousness, how that happened, unbelievable. But it did. So it is what it is. Secondly, and probably before I leave that one, you know, you have to understand that their hands are probably tied a little bit because of the geography thing. It's really not the seeds as we all think it should be. It's kind of who lives closest to who, so who can get on a bus and travel instead of fly. Second thing that surprised me was Western Illinois getting in at 6 and 5 and getting the first round draw of Dayton, who beat Drake a week ago. So it was like, that was a surprise. Now, I'm all for the Valley getting in, but you know, those are the 2 things that surprised me in all seriousness. But one, it explains how strong our division is, how strong our league is, because Western, I think, beat 3 teams that are in the field already. So you look at that, you can kind of see the strength of the league. But at the same time, the pairings and stuff, that's beside us. And heck, I'm just glad that we're at home. Eastern's a good football team, and Eastern's a good draw, and Eastern's heck, I'd rather see a good football game and be in a good football game than anything else. And you know, then it keeps you sharp if you are fortunate enough to win to move on to the next game. And I don't know anything about the you know, the next territory we go to. There's nothing close about that. So I just follow and watch what we do, and you know, fortunate to be in it, and hopefully get our players ready to play.
Anything else on the injury front you can share today coming off that